Let's talk a little about Gmail. One of the things that you will notice is mine looks very much like probably everybody else's in here. I have down here a few little things you will not have. That's because I'm sharing my screen with you. So if we were to look at Gmail, we've got the Gmail over here. You've got what we call the hamburger menu, which just is the main menu. We call it the hamburger menu because it kind of looks like two buns with a burger in between. You've got your compose, and then you've got a whole bunch of things down here. And you might not even realize that you can keep scrolling down here. You might have just seen these ones at the top. And then you've got Meet. That's if you're wanting to actually do a face-to-face conversation with somebody. You probably, I don't know, you might be interested in that, especially during COVID times. And then Hangouts, that's more like you're actually just wanting to chat with individuals rather than sending them emails back and forth. But let's talk a little bit about the space that's over here. The space that has got inbox, starred, snoozed, etc. I don't ever use starred, important, that kind of stuff. I don't even want to see it. So let's see whether or not we can actually get rid of some of those things. So way over here, you've got your settings. This is the little cogwheel. If you click on settings, there's a short little version of this. Let me just move this over for a second. There's a short little version of this, but we're going to just dive in and we're going to say see all settings. Now this is going to look a little daunting when we first click on it because there's a lot of settings, but don't worry about it because it's easy to understand. So we've got our languages, we've got what the phone numbers are going to look like because in some countries it's different. Maybe you only want to see a certain number of conversations. All of this stuff, don't worry about it. But this is something you might want to look at. Undo send. Normally, if you send an email, it's gone. But Gmail has got this little great thing in here that you can actually change it so that if you've made a mistake, you've forgotten to attach something, you realize that, oh my God, I said this to the wrong person or whatever, you can have an unsend within a certain amount of time. You can set it for as long as 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever, okay? Default reply behavior, never reply all. It's super annoying to people unless you specifically need to let everybody know, just simply reply. But the thing that I thought you might want to look at is your inbox and the labels. So the labels here, these are all the ones that you see along the side here. I don't need to see the starred. Oh, there, it's gone. I don't need to see important because I'm not going to use the important. I have already hid my chats because I don't chat on here. You're not ever going to schedule things. You might want to hide it. Drafts, you probably don't even need to see it. Hide it. All of those kinds of things you can hide. And then it's a little bit easier for you to see the stuff. And then there's categories. I don't need to do the categories because I didn't do these kinds of things with when I do labels. I don't worry about this. This is work. It's not something that I needed. So I actually don't even need to see any of these kinds of things. So I've hit all of those. Now, these are all my actual labels. We'll get into labeling. I highly suggest you label things. It's easier for you to be able to actually see them in the future. Sort of like a filing cabinet. Instead of having everything in just one spot, you have all these different layers, file folders for the various things that you want. So I think that that's a really, really good thing for you to have. I've got a whole bunch. So let's talk about that next.